And she's like, okay. I'm in the kitchen making Rice Krispie treats. And she's like, do you guys like do this every night? I was like, oh, no. Like, this was just like, I think it was like Wes's first day of school or like first football game or like something like that. So I was like, no, just making them just because.
Rice Krispies.
And you're like, okay, casual at like 7 o'clock on a Thursday night. That was also one of our like kind of like quirky pandemic things. We'd make like Rice Krispies.
Welcome to the Big Dane podcast. I'm your host, Dana Trimborn, and in this podcast, find the connection in the weird experiences that we all share. Listen to new episodes on Tuesdays wherever you get your podcasts. Hey friends, in this week's episode, I'm chatting with my neighbor and friend, Allison Casola, about her weird things that she does in her daily routine. Listen to what game her and her boyfriend play right when they wake up. Welcome, Allison.
Hi, I'm excited, a little nervous.
No, I'm happy to have you on, and I'm so glad like you live 2 doors, 3 doors down, and we can do this.
Cue some music and cue some 3 doors down.
Oh my god, I should totally do that.
Could like name the episode that.
Ooh, 3 doors down, daily routine or something. But no, I know like we've been talking about like off and on for a little while, so now we're finally recording. But before we dive into the experiences in your routine, why don't you just tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and we'll go from there.
Sure. So I am your tried and true 30-year-old basic millennial. I'm originally from Maryland. I've been in Pennsylvania now for most of my adult life. I am a scientist by day, and by night I watch a lot of reality TV and I drink a lot of White Claw. So that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Love it.
Everything I love. Housewives and like grapefruit White Claw. So
very well-rounded, I must say.
That's how I do.
A lot of different avenues going on here. Wonderful. So let's just talk a little bit further, just some fun questions. So what's the worst purchase that you have made?
So kind of hard to narrow it all down, let's be real. But years ago, I was swayed by an ad, like many of us are, and it led me to Amazon. And my boyfriend and I are avid sushi eaters. We love sushi. And I saw something. I don't even remember the name of it now, but it is like a sushi making tube with like a handle on the end, like a water gun where you pump the water gun and you wrap the sushi in the barrel and then you push the side out and it comes out like Play-Doh. You know how like the Play-Doh machines? So I, needless, was like, oh my God, we need to get this.
This is brilliant.
Wes is obviously very hesitant. He's like, okay, sure. So it comes in the mail. I go to Whole Foods to get sushi grade salmon for us because I was like, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. So I think I spent more on the salmon than I actually did on the sushi making mechanism, we can call it. We get home, I get the seaweed wrap, I get sushi like rice specifically to make. We cut the cucumber, we cut some avocado, and Wes and I are going to actually make this, and like it does not work, shockingly, right? Like I know you guys were all really surprised about that, but it like kept getting caught, like it was like a tunnel and it couldn't, it just got
stuck.
Yeah, it was like, so frustrating. It was such a letdown.
Oh my God.
And I was so hyped about it too. It was like an impulse purchase, and I was like, this is going to be amazing. We're going to make our own sushi.
Do you remember what the review said, or you didn't?
So I read all the reviews because I always do that.
Yeah.
And some of them were pretty good. And they were like, some people who are saying it's a bad review, you just kind of need to like practice. You need to do it a few times. Practice. So I was like, okay, maybe we need to try it again. And we never did. And I should have. I think I still have it. Maybe we can try it.
Wonderful. All right. Now that we kind of got a feel of who you are between a scientist and a sushi enthusiast, let's dive right into your routine and some of the unique and quirky things that kind of go on, you know, maybe right when you wake up.
So, in any partnership, you share chores and all that kind of stuff. My partner does not like making the bed at all. And that's fine because I really don't like taking the trash out. So it's fair trade. It's fine. So sometimes we don't like to get up right away, or we want to hit snooze again. And then we're like, oh crap, we are running late. We need to go. So I now work remotely or like hybrid, so I have a little bit more flexibility. My partner is a teacher, so he has to go to work on time every day because there's kids there. So we have this joke of whoever is the last person out of bed has to make the bed. And it started as a way to try to get him to get moving, because I would say that and then he would like jump right out of bed and like go running to go do whatever he needs to do, so that I would end up making the bed. But earlier in the pandemic, when we were both home like nonstop, I would have to get up first. So he ended up having to make the bed. So then it kind of became his thing at that time. And I can say he really does not like the throw pillow. We only have one extra throw pillow. I'm not a crazy throw pillow person. He hates it. He like he'll make the bed, but he will not. He's like, I will not do the pillow. You have to put the pillow back. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to pick and choose, and I'm not going to pick this one. But during the pandemic, we started doing what we call blanket art. So you put you make the bed, you put the quilt on, all that stuff, and then we have like extra blankets at the end of the foot of the bed. Okay. We have like our weighted blanket and like just some other like throw blankets for when it gets cold or whatever. So we started to do what is called blanket art, where we would try to make like a design with the blankets, and we would be so excited to show each other what the blanket art of the day was.
So how did this start? Did you kind of come up with this idea like one morning, or did Wes, and then was like, hey, Allison?
I think Wes did it one morning just because he was like probably mad that he was making the bed. And he was like, because he also does not like to fold those extra blankets. He's like, we don't need them. They're fine. So I think he kind of started out of like I'm not going to fold them. I'm going to make something out of them.
Origami.
Yes, exactly. So like one time I think he made, he called it a pizza slice, but essentially it was like a triangle. But he did kind of like roll the top of the blanket down to make like crust. For the crust. Yeah, it was great. So that was
dish.
That was probably one of the highlights of it. And then he also at one point made a cat face. So we did like kind of like the head and then the two little like pointy ears. Yeah. So that was a good one. Those are probably two of his best. I don't really remember any that I did because I'm more of a purist. I like the blankets folded. But it is fun every once in a while to do that. Sometimes like it's easy. His name is Wes, so it starts with a W, so it's easy to do like a letter. So I sometimes would do a W for Wes and like stuff like that. But yeah. That's awesome. It was kind of like a little joy we had during the pandemic when it was like, there's nothing new in our day. Like, what's it gonna be today?
Yeah, like surprise. So I guess like those other moments then you would try to do the art even though you're like resistant. And
a little
then
bit.
Like, hey babe, like look what I made.
We would do that because my office is upstairs. So if I went right into the office and then he was like kind of getting ready for his day, and I would like leave the office to go get more water or go get a snack or whatever, he'd be like, did you see the blanket art today? And I was like, no, come with me. And we'd both go look at it together and like explain our art to the other person.
I love it.
It's like those little things that just like make you smile when you think about it.
I know. I mean, that's so unique because like I wouldn't have thought to like, oh, let me start doing something creative like this. Also, at the end of our bed is like a pillow for my cat. So we don't have these extra blankets, I would say, in like right on the bed. So There we go.
It kind of also started to, I can't take like full credit for it. We love, like I said, I love reality TV, and we watch a lot of Bravo in our house. And on one show called Below Deck, where it's essentially like a super yacht, and it's like the crew and like the guests. So one of the Stews actually did blanket art on the bed for one of the charter guests.
Oh.
And she made it into a penis. So he thought that was hysterical. So then I think that's kind of how it spiraled for us.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't like create the idea of blanket art, but we must have been watching it, like, or talking about it.
You adopted the idea.
Yeah, we made it our own. Made it our own.
You know, it would have been cool if you took like a picture of it each time.
That would have been
and
fun.
then made like a little scrapbook.
So there, I have this app actually. It's called like 1 second each day or something like that.
Wait, okay.
Do you have it?
No, but I've heard of this.
So it's like you can do like a quick video or like a quick photo every day, and then at the end of the year they kind of make a montage for you of things. And it a friend, like a work friend of mine, told me, she's like, oh, you should try it. It's just kind of fun. It's helping us to just be like have more gratitude for the little things in our day, and like especially when you kind of feel that like monotony of things. And she's like, a lot of times it just ends up being like a picture of food, or like the cat's doing something, or like just a pretty flower, whatever. Or it can be like actually something you're doing together. So that, I wish I had that when we were in peak blanket art season, because that would have been really fun to do, as like every day take a photo of the blanket art and then see them all like in a video, like, you know how iPhones do that. So
you have to do it for next year. I guess you could start now.
We could start now. I could start tomorrow.
Start tomorrow.
No time like the present.
Seize the day. That's so cool though. Awesome. So what else do you do like as you go on with your day? So
another kind of morning thing about us is that we love cereal, like good old boxed cereal. And it's probably one of our top favorite foods. Like, there's just so many choices.
There's so many choices.
It's like anything you could want. You want sweet, you want chocolate, you want like salty, you want crunchy, like anything. It's amazing. So we mix and match our cereals because like why not? Yeah. So we have what we call our base cereal. So my preference for my base cereal is classic yellow box Cheerios.
Okay.
Which a lot of people think tastes like cardboard, but I just love.
I had a feeling you were going to say that, mostly because when you said base, I'm thinking something that is not sweet, because then you'll add the sweet on top.
Yep.
So it's like Cheerios. To me, that's Cheerios.
Yeah. So my base is like classic yellow box Cheerios. And Wes, his base is multigrain Cheerios. He likes the multigrains. I like the plain ones.
That's sweet. All right.
Yeah. So that's our base. So you put that on the bottom. And then you can kind of like have a heyday with whatever you want. So we also are really big into couponing. So we try to figure out what's on sale that week and like what coupons we have. And then we can do our mix-in cereal. So we love some good old Reese's Puffs, children of the 90s.
Yo. There's been a couple times I've been in the store. I was like, do I get Reese's Puffs? No. And then I walk away because
you need to just get them. Eat them for dessert. Like, I eat them plain. They're so good.
I should do that.
Yeah, you should. Do it. Go to Giant tonight.
I'm putting it on the grocery list after the session's done.
So we love Reese's Puffs. I am also a huge fan of chocolate Cheerios. And Wes loves the chocolate peanut butter Cheerios.
The chocolate Wait, no, I think I just had peanut butter Cheerios.
Probably. Those are good too.
I didn't know they had chocolate peanut butter.
I love Cheerios in general. They're just like going to take over everything.
Yum.
So we love that. Sometimes it'll be Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Sometimes it'll be Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Cheerios also has this like granola crunch cereal where it's like...
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Like honey. It's like not like honey nut Cheerios, but it's like honey nut crunch. It has like granola and almonds and stuff in it. So that's always a fan favorite in our house. We don't usually mix in Rice Krispies because we like to make Rice Krispies with that.
I've had many of these Rice Krispie treats, my friends, and they're tasty. It's just so much better when they're homemade.
Yeah.
So that totally makes sense why you wouldn't want to have it like for breakfast.
Dana walked over one time. It was like a Thursday night. And I was like, oh, the door's open. Come in. She's like, okay. I'm in the kitchen making Rice Krispie treats. And she's like, do you guys like do this every night? I was like, oh, no. Like this is just like, I think it was like Wes's first day of school or like first football game or like something like that. So I was like, no, I'm just making them just because.
Rice Krispies.
And you're like, okay, casual at like 7 o'clock on a Thursday night. That was also one of our like kind of like quirky pandemic things. We'd make like Rice Krispie treats every day at lunch. He'll be like, can we make them today? And I was like, dude, we can't.
Rice Krispie time.
We like can't make them every day. And he's like, well, why not? And I'm like, oh, here, that's kind of true. Why not? So yeah, so we don't mix in Rice Krispies because they get saved for another set.
Okay, let's take a quick break. For a limited time only, you'll have free access to my coffee page. No, not actual coffee. This is a place for all exclusive content that won't be on my Instagram or Facebook accounts. Check out sneak peeks, behind the scenes, extra audio clips, and much more. Just have a tap on my link tree, look out for that coffee cup icon, and boom, you'll be on your way. Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with this? Like, is this something that you did as you got older, or did Wes start doing this and then you kind of adopted the idea?
Honestly,
like, what made you?
No idea. It just kind of happened one day. Like
I want both, so let's get both or something like that. And
yeah, I think that probably was. It was like, well, I really want this, and I was like, okay, fine, but like, look at the sugar content on it.
Yeah,
I think that's probably how it started. I was like, can we like try to stay under like 10 grams of sugar or something like that?
It adds up, and then you know, because when you think of like a cup or like.
Yeah, because
it's just
a
like
cup
not a
is
lot.
that, but a cereal bowl is like 2.5 servings.
And you're just pouring in because you're hungry. You just woke up.
And we got those really nice like cereal canisters with the pop lid to like keep them fresh. So like now it's even easier just to keep pouring cereal into your bowl.
Ooh.
So
we used to have that growing up. We don't have that.
We just got them for Christmas like a year ago. They're amazing. Highly recommend. Nice. I think they're the OXO brand, so a little plug. Maybe they like OXO. You can sponsor Dana.
Oh yeah.
Coupon code.
Enter
here.
Check out code. Yeah, no. Yeah, I was gonna say, if there's a day where you don't mix your cereal, what goes on? Like, do you just find an alternative to the cereal?
Yeah, I'll eat like scrambled eggs.
Oh, okay.
Or like nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I have another fun, like when I do scrambled eggs, I do this. No, it's pretty much.
Mix in all different kinds of eggs.
It's pretty much just with.
Brown, large, small.
Extra large.
Extra large, yeah.
It's not anything crazy. That's just kind of like what we do. And like when we pack lunches, like we do a little like dry cereal with like some almonds and like chocolate chips, like make a little homemade trail mix kind of thing.
I love that. What about your milk of choice?
So I've always been, and people will again shame me for this, I've always been a skim milk drinker, and everybody says it tastes like water. There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
But we've not even recently, I guess in the last couple of years, have switched over to almond milk because it's a little bit thicker and just dairy bellies as you get older.
Seriously.
So, so we've been doing almond milk now.
Nice.
Which is like fine. I've never been like a huge like I'm gonna have a glass of milk drinker. So it's pretty much just like to keep the cereal going, kind of thing.
At the end of your bowl of cereal, do you drink the milk, the almond milk, or do you discard it?
I don't do either because you have to keep adding cereal until the milk is gone. It's a game.
I definitely have done that, but I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we try to time it. Wow, I sound really like crazy right now. So you have to try to like put a little bit in at a time until you get like all the milk gone.
Okay.
But it sucks if you like end up putting in too much cereal and then you run out of milk and then you got to start over. So, needless to say, sometimes we eat multiple servings of cereal.
I guess I'll just add more cereal.
But I'll drink the milk if I'm not like in the mood to play
the game.
Play more games.
Like I don't got any time now. I gotta go hop on the Zoom call.
Yeah, I gotta jump on the train or like we're running out the door kind of thing.
How do you feel about? And I guess you probably wouldn't really encounter this with a Cheerios cereal. Mm-hmm. But if you had Life cereal, which I really enjoy, in fact, it's sitting on the shelf over there, and that becomes a little bit soggy.
Yes.
How do you feel about the soggy?
You got to put the heartier cereal at the bottom.
Okay.
But the sogginess, you just have to time it. You gotta be well timed.
Yeah.
If you know you're gonna eat a bowl of Life cereal, you gotta watch the clock.
Gotta be ready.
Gotta be ready.
Set that timer. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I would say for me, I'll do like oatmeal in the morning, but then I'm like already at my computer upstairs, like working. So I'm like, oh, that can sit, right? But if I have the cereal, I'm like, I have to eat that like right away almost. Mm-hmm. Although I kind of like the soggy.
I kind of do too. Sometimes like I don't you got
not too
not all the time. Yeah. Sometimes you want a little bit.
Yeah,
and that's normal. I personally am not a fan of like the dust at the bottom of the box. Yes. But Wes loves it. So when I'm getting ready to throw like the bag out or whatever, he'll actually put the dust in like a little like bag or Tupperware kind of thing, and he'll eat it when he has the next bowl of cereal.
Ooh, or you know what you could do if, I don't know if you eat yogurt or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
To like sprinkle that dust, cereal dust.
Fairy dust.
On top to act as like a little granola, but not granola, you know, little crunch. I always like a crunch.
Yep, always.
This is what I learned about myself as I grew up.
We, there was... I don't even know when this was, but we went to a different grocery store than we normally go to. So we are also very picky with our grocery store. We love going to Giant, and there's 2 Giants near us. We go to one of them specifically, and we refer to the other one as Bad Giant. It's not necessarily bad. It's just not ours.
It's not set up the same way.
We happened one day to go to Weis. Don't know why.
Okay, I'm with you.
Don't know why we did this. But you know how like they have those dollar bins or like the 10 for 10 bins where they try to get you as you get to the checkout?
Yeah.
One time they had Slurpee bowls. Do you know what a Slurpee bowl is?
I do not. Please tell me.
So a Slurpee bowl is like a cereal bowl with a straw embedded into it.
Okay.
So of course I bought like 2 of them because there's 2 people in our house, and then I bought them for a lot of my friends too. And I would mail them, and they'd open it and be like Al, what is this? I was like, it's a Slurpee bowl. You never had them? We used to have them all the time growing up. And like we would have cereal with them, but we'd also do like Oreos and milk in them because then you could drink like the Oreo milk.
Okay.
And stuff. I'm gonna get you a Slurpee bowl, Dana.
Okay. I need to see what this is. So but it's not filled with cereal though. You have to put your own cereal in it.
You have to, so it's just like a regular bowl.
Okay.
But it has a straw.
Has a straw and has a lid.
There's no lid.
Oh, I envisioned a lid.
They probably make them with a lid.
How does the straw stay intact?
It's plastic. It's like embedded in the bowl.
It's like a...
so it like sticks out.
Okay. For some reason, I'm picturing this giant straw coming out of this small bowl.
We'll get a picture for you, listeners.
Yes. We'll report back.
3 doors down. That's where the Slurpee bowls are.
Stashed away with all the Rice Krispies.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God, I'm crying. Oh my God, I love this. I love cereal, so I want to go buy cereal now.
Yeah, you
and mix and match. I started to do that a little bit of what you're saying with like getting the base, because I figured I'm like, yeah, there's just like it's too much sugar in the morning all at once. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So let me get something a little more bland, plain, and then something else to just sprinkle on top.
And you know what?
Like granola.
Cinnamon Life is a really good mix-in cereal. So if you got a good base for that, then you also would prevent some of the sogginess from happening.
There you go.
So I am a scientist, guys. It's all an experiment.
Oh my gosh. Well, this has been so much fun. Did you have anything else to share about your routine?
Yeah, no, I think that's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this episode. It was a lot of fun to kind of dig into your day-to-day.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I was very nervous on my walk over here. But
it's all right.
Loosened up a little bit.
Loosen up. Easy peasy. Well, I hope everyone found connection here and kind of resonated with Allison's routine, and maybe you'll decide to do some of this mix and matching your cereal or create some art with your blankets. All right, we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
All right, my friends. Thanks for listening, and be sure to listen to new episodes on your preferred platform. Stay up to date with my podcast by going to my Instagram or Facebook accounts at the Big Dane Podcast. Interested in being a guest? Just go to my link tree, tap on Be a Guest, and fill out the form. All right, catch you next week.